You pull out your phone, open a delivery app, and scroll through endless options. Sushi, pizza, burgers, or maybe a rich, slow-cooked biryani. You spot familiar names with high ratings, places like Fasos, Beru's Biryani, or Oven Story. They look completely distinct from one another. A premium dish from Beru's feels culturally and visually separate from a pizza at Oven Story. You naturally picture different chefs in different neighborhood restaurants making these meals. But if you try to map these restaurants and walk up to their front doors, you won't find a dining room. You won't even find a storefront. This is a Rebel Foods commercial kitchen. That premium biryani, the pizza, and the wrap are all coming from the exact same address. They are cooked side by side on the same equipment by the same staff in a shared industrial facility. Their own internal documentation is clear.
As stated in Hindi, ये ट्रेडिशनल रेस्टोरेंट नहीं चलाते बल्कि सिर्फ डिलीवरी के लिए किचन्स ऑपरेट करते हैं. They do not run traditional restaurants, they operate kitchens strictly for delivery. By separating the food from a physical dining room, Rebel Foods turned the traditional restaurant model into a network of cloud kitchens. This journey began in Pune, India in 2011. Founders Jaideep Burman and Kalol Banerjee originally launched Fasos as a standard quick-service restaurant. Customers walked through the door, ordered wraps at a counter, and sat down at a table to eat. This chart illustrates the financial pressure of that model. Selling fast food yields tight margins, and physical restaurants require prime real estate and front-of-house staff. Those overhead costs were consuming nearly every dollar of their revenue. In 2015, they noticed that actual revenue was driven almost entirely by delivery orders, so they closed their dining rooms.
By removing the real estate costs shown here, their profit margins immediately expanded. Once they were operating exclusively out of closed kitchens, they noticed a significant logistical advantage. A kitchen making wraps has an oven, a stove, and prep space. It can prepare pizzas or biryani just as easily without any additional rent. Their survival relied on a shift in focus. They moved into the kitchen logistics business, running a single hub that could launch 50 virtual brands from the same stoves. But cooking 45 different cuisines in one room creates a logistical nightmare. You are dealing with different ingredients, varying cook times, and dozens of delivery drivers showing up at once. To manage the complexity, they built Rebel OS, a proprietary software platform that acts as the central brain for their entire network of facilities. This graphic shows their brand ecosystem. On the consumer side, this powers their Eat Sure app. Because these digital brands share the same physical space, a user can order a pizza, a wrap, and a dessert from 3 different virtual menus in one transaction. Rebel OS breaks incoming orders apart, routing pizzas to ovens and wraps to prep lines, tracking data so both finish simultaneously. This standardized infrastructure hosts partners. Through Rebel Launcher, brands like Wendy's plug into the network, selling food without acquiring new buildings. They provide the hardware, the software, and the physical space. In practice, they function like Amazon Web Services for the food industry. This record shows their scale by 2024. Removing the dining room allowed them to replicate this infrastructure rapidly, scaling to over 450 kitchens across 70 cities and 10 countries. They pushed into international markets, establishing an extensive network across the United Arab Emirates. This partnership with Kitchen Park and entrepreneur Fahad Al-Hokair's Kitch highlights their next phase. They aim to build a $100 million presence in Saudi Arabia in just 3 years. That expansion reached Western markets as well, with operational hubs opening across the United Kingdom. The model is so capital efficient that the global investment firm KKR took an equity stake in 2024 to accelerate their growth further. The next time you discover a new restaurant on a delivery app, take a look at the address. The food is real, but the restaurant itself might just be lines of code running in a logistics hub.